Making our way into the second game of the day here for Group B for the end of the round robin series. It's going to be a fun week here. It's a good way to run a Saturday, and NA are going to have their hopes either made or dashed here. 100 Thieves actually on a 1-2 series right now. Everyone getting a win over Detonation Focus Me in this group, sadly. So 100 Thieves' hopes for making it out of this group still up and available. They just have to get through the Demon King and his current brood. Kano, Owner, Gumayushi, and Kiria kind of showing themselves as a very strong team. T1 not slacking at all. I believe their only loss so far has been against EDG, who is currently undefeated, but Faker back trying to prove himself on the world stage since he has not been here in such a long time. Gumayushi, the standout rookie from the LCK, taking the place of Teddy for this, and we'll see how the someday closer Abadage FBI and who he can run against this, because Abadage, so far at least listening to Peter Dunn talk about, Abadage is kind of playing differently here at Worlds. Closer has been pretty much the same player, someday still pretty stable and consistent, and I'm gonna have to ignore FBI and Hui for a minute because Aphelios has been locked in first pick here for Gumayushi. Apparently T1 looks at him and says, you can pilot this into anything, and I think we're about to get that tested here. Closer's Lee Sin might get locked in here, and that's the exact pick you don't want to have to put Gumayushi's Aphelios into the middle of 100 Thieves' ball. Well, we don't know what they're going to have yet, but it's going to be a ball bouncing piece of fun, I bet. Leona's going to get locked in, so engage from afar, and Gumayushi's going to have to dodge it all. Twisted Phage, Lucian, Yumi, Graves. So most of the two globals, the two standard global mid laners, have been removed. LeBlanc being taken away from Abadage. The Graves, which is a great stable top laner for basically not a lot happening. Great Wave Clear has been taken away, so if someday had that available, it is not there anymore. The Lucian, pretty much standard bans more or less. Faker's just going to have to probably play more of a solo lane situation. And the Thresh, since it is not getting consistently banned by anyone anywhere, this is probably why they're perfectly happy picking the Aphelios and Thresh early, and this may even leave. This is going to leave the a lot of the draft resources in Kana and Faker's hands, so they get to have their counterpicks. Faker probably even gets to have the final counterpick, which is kind of where you want to let him, counter out whatever 100 Thieves wants to throw at T1. And the Ezreal last pick here, they want to actually probably lock that one in. We did get to see in the last match that if you get rid of a lot of AD carries, you're gonna end up with Jhin, and that does not mean you're gonna have a lot of damage coming out of the bot lane. So FBI gonna at least secure that much, and we have seen, especially since these games consistently get pretty late, you get up to that third item on Ezreal and his poke, his damage can be quite high. The Aphelios can be much higher, but if there's a poking situation, if you can get the Aphelios out of the game, that will take care of probably over half the damage of the team, honestly, or at least half the damage potential of the team. The Azir getting taken away from Faker, not too surprising. It's been him. It's been mostly LCK players trying to pick up the Azir during this tournament. There's been mostly play-ins. I know it was Chovy that picked it out, and you had a pretty, mediocre performance on it for at least Chovy standards and what we would expect out of Chovy. So, but getting rid of that super safe late game pick, because I don't think T1 would have a problem just delaying till like near the 40-minute mark when the Azir and the Aphelios are just unstoppable and cannot be trifled with, and in some ways can't even be touched. Renekton taken away from Someday, that'd be a good reliable pick for him, which is curious what Khan is going to actually go for the top lane here. Jay's still available, Irelia removed. So what are we going to have for these final bans here? Because it looks like top lane's getting removed entirely. The AD carries, yeah, we're just missing like mid laners. Abadage mid laner that they don't want to see. Zoe? I think Zoe would be like the last possible removal here. No, it's going to be the Kennen. So getting rid of that flank, that big team fight presence. And Abadage going to pick, considering picking the Sylas into the currently blind comp, which doesn't really bode too well. I mean, the Cataclysm could be pretty great. All right, so Abadage, Miss Super Reliable has arrived. Her win percentage is currently low, but that's because she's been picked not too often. And the delivery system's there. She's got 2 delivery systems. So Abadagi with a super safe pick with Oriana might lose Prio depending on what T1 takes and allow for owner to get more done on the map. It's just that there needs to be a lot of damage in sync with whenever Jarvan's been going in, just so that things actually die, and Jarvan doesn't. There's going to be the secure for the Jace, and Jace has clearly been doing very well in this tournament. Well, has been very prevalent, we'll say. 41% win rate doesn't really bode too well, but this does leave final pick. Oh, and Faker's going to lock in the Zoe himself. He's about to flex on Abadage. It was like a fantastic one-trick Zoe, depending on who you ask. I know Niski learned his Zoe from Abba. So Faker Dage versus Abadage. Well, all the above. Faker versus Faker Dage. And here, he did. Someday brought it in, so the Malphite has returned. The Fudge special has been brought over by the 100 Thieves, stolen, if you will. And considering the high AD damage comp that is, Kana, Owner, Gumayushi on the Jace, Jarvan, and Aphelios respectively, this pick out of Sunday is not too bad. And this provides like a very fantastic Wombo combo out from 100 Thieves here. So T1 is kind of built for a team fight. They've built for like Gumayushi for the poke out of Faker. Kana with the Jace can do pretty good team fighting. Is probably more of a split push presence. But I love this. I love the Malphite coming out from 100 Thieves. This gives them a very clear way to initiate and start a fight and to just jump on Gumayushi and just bully him. If we want to go back to what Fudge was doing on the Malphite during play-ins, he was actually dang near an AP assassin with the Malphite, going like maybe one, maybe 2 tank items by the end of the match. But it was a very scary rock getting thrown at the AD carries at the time. All right, so this will be the lock-in here. I don't suspect we're actually going to have too many crazy picks here. Probably going to be... So it's going to be this is pretty much do or die here. 100 Thieves need to nail this one out here. They need to try to keep in contention with T1, because catching up to EDG is out of the question at this point. They do need Detonation Focus Me to upset T1 later on today, and for EDG to beat T1 in the next game, for them to actually be able to contend with that scoreline. So if they beat T1 here, they tie it up. If EDG beat T1, then 100 Thieves have an opportunity, and they will just need to beat DFM one more time, I believe, and for DFM to probably beat T1. So chances are still here. The hopes of NA are still alive here for 100 Thieves here, the current LCS champion. But I don't think Faker is going to go down without a fight here. This team was looking really solid when they finally got their stuff together. And I think they actually got to the finals in LCK. This is going to be pretty close. This is going to be a very close match up here coming in. And they're going to clear this ward away. This will be a nice good bit of experience into FBI's pocket. And not much else happening. It looks like Jarvan's going to start bot side. Closer's going to do the same thing. So both junglers faking for top side starting presence. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case here. So both of them are going to start bot side of the map, which should technically end them up in the top side, in the top lanes for ganks possibly. Faker with a late ward here just to be able to track Closer. So they should actually have a decent idea where he's going to go. We have not seen too many cheese routes or gank pads for the early levels. And usually that'd be like a staple for a J4, like, QE. Just for like the free easy knockup and like early lane gank. But we never even saw that we don't see that often at all. I'm pretty sure this is going to be pretty much full clear, maybe like one camp getting skipped by both respectively. They're going to probably go their Krugs. And a little bit of trade bot side here in the favor of 100 Thieves for Hui and FBI. Yeah, and this could be able to be, they're going to be able to play this pretty super safe. The prior is going to be with Gumayushi and Keria. They're just going to push off FBI and Hui, level 2 already acquired. So they get to have control of the wave here, get to push this one in. But should not be too much of a concern for our bot lane, mostly because Ezreal can just Q from far away. Leona's going to try to get at least her level 2 up before she starts roaming. Closer going to read And I believe Abadagi probably told him that Faker was going to have to put that ward in. So right now, Faker and T1 are not 100% sure on where Closer is. He has not shown. The only vision has been that Chicken's ward, and he did not walk over. He did avoid that little bit of range on the ward. Now Closer coming into mid, coming into the river actually, and Closer coming on around here. Kana is low here someday. He's gonna start just pounded 2 biscuits. Now they have to catch Kana. Here comes the teleport. And that's going to be pretty great here. There's not going to be much else to go. Faker running on in, going to hit the bubble. Oh, they want this fight here. Owner has arrived here. QEW, and that's going to be a dead Closer. What a turnaround from Faker and T1 here, just grabbing the first blood. Closer with a very cheeky little gank path there to just kind of ignore his Krugs. And that's going to be double buffs for Faker. So Closer, good idea. Pulling out the teleport, not that bad. But the rest of T1, just close enough and ready to just turn that entire play on its head. And that first blood actually went over to Faker. That is probably the single worst person this could go on. Alright, so they're coming in on Kana, but Kana's okay to bait. He goes into the bush so he can't get hit by much. And now Closer and somebody just looking to try to get away. Kana doesn't really contribute much else, but the bubble landing onto Closer, he should have flashed that. His flash was entirely available. So he's going to go down. First blood over. And both assists captured by Kana and Owner. So, no, that was not worth it. Owner's going to now also steal this, and they're going to, oh boy, can he get the flag? He just laid it up, and he did not penetrate the shield health. So, somebody gets away by the skin of his teeth. Does Malphite have teeth? I don't know. But he's going to be able to make it back. Not losing too hard. 10 CS down. Could be a little rough, but his entire goal is to make sure he's got levels. Get as much gold as, humanly possible under these circumstances. And then just be a fantastic engage primarily onto Gumayushi. Even onto Faker, really. Like, that would not be a bad idea either, considering both major carries, all 3 carries on the side of T1 are not easily, they don't have a lot of mobility. Or he take it up as much as he can here, but they cannot get the kill. And there's going to be the kill onto Gumayushi, and Closer's going to be able to get out, but Faker has arrived. He's going to get the damage on to... Oh, Closer, he's going to be sleeping, and he's going to go down again. Owner securing the kill this time, but now T1 trying to go all the way through. He's going to re-engage to try to save some life. He's going to flash out. Owner's trying to save what he can. Oh, and the Q over from FBI, but the Dress is going to land last minute, and now it's going to be a secured piece. Abadage running away, but the double kill over to FBI. He cannot get the final proc onto Carrier, but that's 2 kills into this Ezreal pocket with Gumayushi's been dead this whole time. No XP really gained off of that. What was that? 2 kills onto Owner. That's not the worst thing in the world. He could probably index more damage going forward, but I love this. So they just run. There comes the teleport, and then they jump right into Gumayushi. He's a fire this whole time, and then it gets a little weird. Flash by Closer. I appreciate him saving his flash for this play, and then just really running out the clock from Abadage, because they both actually survived this. Hui goes back in. The shield just giving him so much, and he flashes over. Owner can't even catch him. Oh, there we go with the Q. So he does catch him with a trade kill, and then Abadage just runs this one out. The last second shield from him, just in time. That was great. That was actually fantastic counterplay there by 100 Thieves. Keeping the gold, pretty close kills, entirely even. And yeah, ready to read these plays, ready to read these rotations. 100 Thieves, keeping track, keeping pace. This is what we want to see. This is what we want to see. We have 3-5 hitting mid lane. Looking for these timings, looking for an engage here. But no one going to really give too much up. Faker going to stay back, stay passive. Not going to put himself into any danger. Going to allow Owner to go get that top side scuttle. And now here comes the invade from Hui and Closer in to get this red buff. Keeping the timing down, actually. They knew the timing, and they, from just the beginning of the game, and now it's going to be a free take. And Owner kind of smelling this one out. Faker not really running towards it, but they know this. They know this. I don't even notice any wards. But now here comes the rest of the bot lane from T1. Closer might be a little far. It's going to sidestep the bubble. There we go. Getting that one right. Every time you catch a bubble, Closer, you've died so far, and I'd appreciate you not doing that anymore. Yeah, nothing too special here right now. Top lane, not too bad. Getting about 14-15 CS down here, so it hasn't really... That part of the lead is not really extended all too much. And someday able to trade pretty well. Just need to avoid that shock blast, really, and you've been good. Yep, everyone's still keeping pretty close. Abadagi actually beating Faker in CS right now. It's a good sign. It's definitely a good sign there. Bot lane super close, so everything's going pretty well here. Now we're going into where we're going to hit the 8-minute mark. First Drake has not been taken yet. Herald is already spawned. Owner is down by a camp, a level down to his opponent. There's level 6. So about one major camp down still. Here comes the initiation onto the Herald. Abadage is backing. I think Closer and company are going to have to just... Yeah, they're going to miss this. All three... There's a full reset kind of across the map here. It's just Someday still sitting up top side. So he's just going to have to push in the wave that's currently in front of him. And I'm not sure... He's going to clear out that ward, and T1 are going to leave him alone. Thank goodness. And did they spot... Closer? Nope, no ward there. Alright, so interesting here. No really invasive wards are not what we were seeing out of EDG against DFM. T1 playing a much more passive game. Not really interested in too many fights. They've played mostly reactive so far. There hasn't even been any proactive plays to like get any lane ahead here for Owner. He's just been reacting to whatever Closer wants to do. And Closer's died both times that a play's really come about. But I'd say it's gone really into 100 Thieves' favor, at least especially with how the bot side go. The 2 kills on Jarvan are nice and all, but it's not going to be a game-winning situation. 2 kills onto Ezreal and accelerating him. He's got his Tier, his Trinity Force, his Phage. He'll be hitting that Divine Sunderer pretty soon. This is just setting him up super well. Because the moment he hits, like, again, once we hit those 3 item marks for Gumayushi's Aphelios and for the Ezreal, it's going to get pretty nastier. The damage out from these carries will be pretty disgusting. And if we're gonna find Ezreal ahead of the curve compared to the Aphelios, that's 150 years versus what is actually 200 years, because Ezreal's been in this game forever. Hats off to 100 Thieves. They are starting out this match really well, really even. The gold is only like 100 apart, and that's peanuts. That's nothing. So this is going super great, super well. Now T1 might be trying to collect around for some play here. I think they might be trying to go for this Drake. Vision's going to spot them. So they're just moving around here, looking for a little invade here onto the jungle. So here comes that timing. Faker just spotting out. Doesn't see the blue buff. I believe it's because they know Closer now is top side. No intrusive wards yet. That's what's the weirdest part here right now, is that there's not been too many intrusive wards into the enemy jungle just yet. Just been bodies. Closer doesn't get the connection onto Owner. No play there. Cataclysm available, but I don't think it's going to scare too many people. Yeah, Oriana and Leona are the only ones that are going to have a problem getting out of there unless Leona wants to go deeper into the fight. Only level 5 on carry here. There's actually a very distinct advantage here. No support ultimate for T1. They cannot fight this, so 100 Thieves are going to be able to take control of the river. They're not going to take the Drake, though. We're at 11 minutes. Scry's Boom's going to spot 2, 3. FBI. Alright. So, Abadage dodges the bubble. And that's going to be that dance over with. No one's going to take the Drake at this time. We're going to have a very late game here if we're going to take this long to even get first Drake here. And the Herald, has it ever even gotten dropped yet? 300. A nice 1,000 gold lead for FBI. Well done here. Well done there. Pride of NA from Australia. Gotta love it. Alright, there we go. Now, first Drake finally acquired. Spoke too soon. Just need to wait 10 seconds. Owner sitting topside looking for trouble. But it doesn't look like anything is going to happen there. Uhi just shattering this, looking for the fight, but they're going to take this. The Rift, the Herald is going to be up soon here. Oh, somebody's just walking into this, and Khan's got to trade onto him. But Someday's perfectly happy to take this fight. His team is not too far behind here. 100 Thieves ready for this fight. It's going to be the stun up there, and that's going to be a secured Scuttle Crab. Oh, Shockwave's going to get onto Faker. He's going to get the Lantern now. The Solar Flare goes wide. That's 2 ultimates gone. And that's a lot of damage, a lot of playmaking gone from the side of 100 Thieves. I'm not sure if they really want to contend for this Herald. T1 are going to take over from here. So river control in T1's favor. Someday going to have to back off, get underneath this tower. Here comes the Herald. At least the Herald from earlier, so I wish they had a better timer for that situation, honestly. Oh, and they're going to go in here. Oh, but that's not what you want here. It's going to put him underneath the tower here. Going to grab at least one turret shot here. But I think someday he just flashes inside the Cataclysm, and that's not much else to be done there. They're reaching too far there. They were not anticipating Carry to be sticking around, and the sleep has landed. I'm sorry, Huey, but you're going to get cut in half here by a Paddle Star. And 100 Thieves are going to have to get out of here. Teleport coming in from Abadage. But he's just going to mid lane just to maintain regular pressure there. Try to shove that one in, force Faker back. And his closer, should be able to smite this. There we go. So, denies bonus damage onto the second tier turret. Again, T1 being very passive about this. Good connection by Faker there. And, ooh, that's a big chunk. Super big chunk there with the Paddle Star into the Sleepy Trouble Bubble. And Gumayushi doing work. Blue-red gun or blue-white gun. Takes off 2 turret plates here. And that's going to bridge it a bit. Only like a 300 gold lead for FBI now. That 1,000 gold advantage in his pocket going away. And looks like it's going to be a 1,600 gold advantage for the top lane. So Kana currently the main point of, I guess, advantage, and where T1 could start really compiling their advantages and focus and pressure into. Yeah, seeing Faker's Lissandra would be a lot of fun, especially after the previous game, where Scouts Lissandra was just actually like surprising everyone, because it's not a play you see often. I don't think we saw Lissandra ever in the LCS this year. I feel like Pole Builder brought it out like once, but it's not seen often, and I think it's kind of because it's just not favored, because it is a go in and either win or die kind of champion, and the ratios might feel a little too low for some regions. Alright, now we're rotating out. Alrighty, here we go. So mid-game has entered in. 15 minutes as acquiring. Plates have fallen off. Second Herald is alive. This Scuttle Crab is going to be acquired by Owner, and that's going to set up T1 to actually keep their gold advantage going here, because that first Herald kind of catapulted them into this 2k gold lead that we're seeing right now. And they're going to just keep going at it. So 1-3-1 regular splits right now. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Malphite's going to start making contact with that turret, but I imagine that we're going to see a teleport out from Kana really soon. Shock Blast hits FBI, but not too worried there. He's got a Biscuit, should be able to heal up just fine off of that. And he's got his Divine Sunderer. So the only Mythic missing is actually on Abadage, who hasn't even died at all. He's really taken a long time to actually get there. And here comes the charge. That's going to be 2 turrets now in T1's favor, and FBI with 100 Thieves. They're going to be missing a lot here. Who he cut in half. That's a big chunk. That hurts. That's painful. So Faker on point with these bubbles, on point with these Paddle Stars. And here comes the trade out. So this was well set up by Someday here. This whole wave is going to get denied, but it is also going to keep the cannon actually. Yep. Should be able to catch the cannon. That's good news for Kana. But at least one trade there for 100 Thieves. Trying to keep this goal close. Still within a 2k gold range. Not too far, not too bad yet. They have choices. They have opportunities. Clearing out vision. And next up we have EDG versus T1. This should be a major match on account of Scout being the understudy of Faker back in his time in Korea on SKT, back then T1. So this could actually be a very big match here, and T1 getting their first win of the day. Also, after this, should set them up for a pretty good mindset, pretty good confidence to face off against the LPL champions. And here comes a cross-map pressure, 3 bot side onto this turret here, so that's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Tier 1 bot for Tier 1 top. And Abadage not too far behind the pace here. Somebody's going to meet that bot lane. Oh, that's a 2-for-1. That's not good. 4-2 is the turret difference right now. Somebody doing his best to clear out these waves and dodge all the bubbles. Who knew farming could be so violent? And Abadage is going to keep this pressure up here. Oh, and the big damage. The big AoE damages from Gumayushi. It's going to be a great game. It's going to be a great game to see this guy go off. I am very ready for this. Okay, so let's get a quick account here. Dragons have been exchanged. Gold lead's only 2.3k in the favor of T1 right now. Not too many great CS disparities, like 25 CS, 28 CS in the favor of Kana right now, but Malphite's going to have his own job, not too concerned. Good 30 CS in the favor of Abadage. He's got 3 assists, the 1-1-2 scoreline of Faker. Things aren't really too out of whack here. We're really waiting for FBI to FBI and Gumiyoshi need to turn on for us to get to those team fights, and that's where I think both teams aren't being too crazy or aggressive about it. T1 kind of winning the macro game so far, but 100 Thieves not too far behind it. It's just a 2-turret lead. Gold differences aren't too crazy or too high just yet. Although this ward game is pretty on fire. I do appreciate that there's literally like an entire forest of wards down in the bottom quadrant to just keep Abadage super safe here. He's going to split push this all to hell. Faker, gonna go fishing here. Gonna be engaged on. Bubble's gonna get hit by Huya. It's gonna actually stun it up. And this is actually gonna defer it. And the teleport's gonna come in from Abadage. But I don't think it was necessary here. I think he hit that a little too early. T1 happy to bait that one out. And now the global advantage for 100 Thieves has gone away because there's only one teleport available on the side of T1, and that's now exactly the kind of matching you want, because now the only teleport available on the side of 100 Thieves is Someday. And I'm sorry, good cleanse out. Shockwave is going to get flashed away, so way to burn that summoner spell. Abadage just needs to get out and away. True Sharp Barrage is going to miss. So a lot of little dancing, We're just edging. We're edging towards a fight here, but neither team really willing to overcommit it, which seems kind of strange. I don't know what 100 Thieves thinks about the situation, but you have a Malphite. I don't understand why that Malphite is not just sitting there looking for the right target to just like ult on top of it. It's unstoppable force, send him on up, blow them. Like there should be such a, I feel like there should be such a better trigger happy mindset on the side of 100 Thieves to just take a kill, take your advantages across the map, you know, start getting this turret lead, like, you know, diminished, get yourself like mid turret or whatnot. But I keep seeing these shockwaves that are just like very opportunistic, and they're just not guaranteed. You have guaranteed opportunities here. Solar Flare, yeah. Dragon Strike, yeah. But like the unstoppable force out of the Malphite should just be like the bread and butter, like engage, kill thing, leave. And even now, actually, with where Gumiyoshi's guns are, he'd probably be actually rotating like into a red. He's trying to burn him as fast as he can, I think. But right now would be a good time for a team fight because Gumiyoshi does not have the best guns for fighting and putting out maximum DPS. He'll have the range, he'll have the CC, but you kind of want better than that. There we go. A little out of priorities here. That wave's going to crash bot side, and that'll be a problem. Yep. 100 Thieves grouping up 5 mid. They've got to get something out of this here. They're kind of giving away a bunch of CS their top side or into the bot side for not a lot. They're going to start forcing this. I think they're going to start grouping and start trying to make this happen here. But there's 5 here in T1 as well. Sleepy Trouble Bubble is going to hit onto the Malphite. He's going to get hurt pretty hard here. He is an armor kind of tank. He is not an MR tank. It's not in his build. But he's still alive. He's got teleport. He can back off and teleport back into this, but it looks like T1 are going to bully 100 Thieves out of this. And now the Dragon's just going to get taken. That feels a little suspicious to me. That's a little sad. Like, if the tank gets chunked out, like, sure, but it wasn't a major carry. Like, as long as he gets in and is able to, like, get his ultimate off, like, even just one spell rotation, that's all you really need. So, 100 Thieves playing pretty passive there. Sleepy Trouble was going to connect, but no follow-up Paddle Star. Abadage and 100 Thieves get away with the steal, and that's going to be that, I guess. Somebody's finally arrived in this top lane, but the gold lead is 3k now. It's not bad. Nothing crazy's happened. Alright, nothing too crazy. This game has been super disciplined, I guess. I feel like it should be going off way more here. You've got the major engages. Like here's the funny thing. On the side of T1, they're the ones sitting there with, I guess you could call it like slightly more limited engage. Comparatively, it's not as reliable. Like Under can go in and like flag drag in and like lock up Abadage, but Shockwave's available, shields are available. He'll have a stopwatch probably pretty soon. It ends up being like much, and that's sort of the only engage that they have outside of like Faker bubbles, which are not reliable, but can be quite annoying because of their long range. But someday, Huhi, you know, someday especially, someday is like the most reliable form of engage you've got. Hui's got the non-committal solar flare. Like, there's something about where 100 Thieves I feel like should just be looking for fights far more often. They're just not, and I don't really know what they're waiting on here. Because like, yeah, we're at 2.5 items for both 80 carries. FBI's like starting to really like turn on here. Red white gun on side of on Aphelios. It's not what you want. They need to wait till he's burned those because you don't want to fight into that. It just feels so lacking. It feels so lacking. There's so much sort of missing from this game in terms of just actionable movements. Hui, you might want to get out of there, bud. It's just you. Help is far away. And what a turn of events we have here. So all that sort of meddling around in mid, and since then, there's now a 50 CS lead instead of like what was a 20 CS lead for Kana. So kind of giving away a lot of resources there. That's not what you want to see. It's like, are both these teams just waiting for level 3 just to even do anything? Because that's what it feels like. It feels like, hey, you know, we're happy with going later. Hey, we're good for, like, get 3 items on FBI and we'll be good to go. You know, that's all we want. And they've got 2 minutes. They've got 2 minutes for, there we go. There's the version. All right. So, FBI, in my mind, should be online now. Okay, he's got his 3 items. I think the worst thing that's going to happen in terms of trying to match this, Gumayushi goes back and also gets his 3rd item. But I don't think that, I think there's a bit till that happens. It might be done in the next 2 minutes. But currently he's not even farming. There we go. So he's sitting up by Scuttlecrab. I bet they gave it to him. Just to bridge him. This is actually a great point. There's not a lot of... It's a very bad gun combo right there. Like, I would so dive that. It may not be the most advisable action, but I would so dive that. That should have been dove or something. I want these engages. I want something to happen, because I think that one of the worst things we've seen so far is, especially for NA, is just in the initial round robin for 100 Thieves, there was a bit of like lying around and just getting smacked, just getting like, you know, the whole dug buried under you and not even doing anything about it. There's a bit of rotation, trying to catch Faker out of position, catch him too far up in the lane. It would seem Faker has eyes for like only closer. Like, feels like every bubble has just been like, give this to closer with my regards. Love Faker. Oh, hook onto Huhi. Solar Flare countered, but that's a pretty free trade. Shock Blast going to chunk closer out a bit. 20 seconds till this Drake shows up. And it's the Drake that 100 Thieves want to keep T1 away from this. We want this game to be delayed here. They'll get themselves on second Drake. Closer's getting just blasted here, and they cannot get rid of this vision in the river. And now T1, they're trading? Oh, green and white gun on Gumayushi here. Oh, this is going to be set up turrets and then just start throwing the chakrams. Oh, this is going to get really scary here. No one's even on the Drake over on the other side here, but this is the engage part. This is where like somebody needs to like flash ult onto someone. The Wombo combo needs to come through, but the threat is there. And 100 Thieves getting pulled by Faker, getting pulled by T1 right now. Bubble's not going to land. Abadage and now getting chunked. These shots from Kana are going to start winning the fight before it even is begun. They need to start figuring this one out. FBI, you need to start getting some trades in here, because Kana's doing what your job should be right now. Sleeper Trouble Bubble lands, no follow-up damage there. And now T1, a little more control. Just a bit more control over the river here. Owner's sitting in the pit. Dragon's going to start attacking him. So 100 Thieves, they weasel their way in. Now T1 getting themselves set up for a fight here. Getting set up to walk through this. Going to clear out that ward. Blue and red guns, not exactly as good as it could have been here. But again, this poke from Kana is just getting so much work done. And here comes Faker. He's going to be able to get a little bit done. It's going to be secured by a closer. But now what can 100 Thieves do? They need to get out of the sleepy trouble bubble onto Someday. Unstoppable Force available. He's going to go golden. And that's going to be a clean acquisition of their second Drake for 100 Thieves. They need to get back to mid to actually catch this wave. But now here comes T1. They want it. They're perfectly happy for this. Tenderize 100 Thieves. Make them weak. Make their health bars low. And now they're going to be forced to come over and try to check this. And this is going to be not too much vision, but it's already down. It's already down halfway. They have to move. They have to move hard. They have to move now here. Someday might just ult in. Just ult in. Oh, and they're not going to go for it. So that's second Drake traded for Baron. And no real ability for 100 Thieves to answer. Like, this is actually a tragic situation here right now. Like, T1 and Fake are just playing fantastically, like, disciplined at this point. I feel like it's just great. This is just actually great. And I don't even think, I think Honor's only used his ultimate, like, once so far. Like, they've just been doing that movements, like, way ahead of 100 Thieves right now. And that's why, alright, now we're sitting like a 4K gold lead. 100 Thieves secure that Drake, but at the cost of gold, at the cost of now the entire map is going to be in the control of 100 Thieves. They should be able to get these last two outer turrets destroyed and collected, and that'll start putting them towards that 8K gold lead. That really hits the point of, like, cannot be surmounted, cannot be matched. You're going to get slapped with the ball, and you're never going to have a chance to really play this game or fight in this game. And the saddest part is that FBI is now at 3.5 items. He has yet to really get involved in this game. The poke coming out from Kana has looked like what we wanted to see out of FBI, but he is not able to land anything. Connection onto Faker. Kick's not going to work like he wants it to. And now Closer needs to get out. The shields are aplenty. Yeah, but there's not much. There's the first bit of poke that I've seen out of FBI for quite a while. FBI running mid. And I think T1 are not going to be concerned about that top side. They want to get an inhib, I think. Right now they're trying to synchronize the waves. Currently, mid wave is arriving way quicker than bot wave, but they need to try to keep those synchronized so they can just have both crash at once, rendering the defense of 100 Thieves moot. But it looks like, yeah, it looks like this is actually like staggered off. This killed like a good 30-40 seconds for 100 Thieves right now. Yeah. Oh, Someday looking for it. He's going to get hooked. He's going to get, oh, he's going to get blown up here, and he's going to be able to get the ultimate. There's the shockwave. Gumushi brought down really low, but there's already the engage here, and that's going to be a dunk onto Abadaga, and this is going to be a fight that's going to happen over in 5 seconds or less. Huhi and FBI running away, but they're going to jump on FBI. He's going to flash. Finally starting to get some of that damage out that we wanted to see here, but he's going to have to just die. The shock blast coming in from Kana, like, delayed there, and he's going to get blown up. That's a clean ace for T1 and 100 Thieves. Actually, it's not an ace. Huhi survived. But that's just one fight, and we're done here at 31.5 minutes. See, that was really, really slow. And then all of a sudden, T1 are just like, you know, we're just going to win the game. We're just going to win the game. No worries, no problem, no issue. You know what? Someday we'll engage. We'll engage on you, and you can just get on back to the fountain there, Rock Boy. T1, kind of breaking the hearts of North America right now. It's going to put 100 Thieves down one more peg, and they are going to have an impossible mountain to climb at some point. I don't know the real situation. I don't know what the differences are at this point. I think there needs to be several upsets at this point here. Currently, the records are like 3-1 and 1-3 between T1 and 100 Thieves. So to try to match that, T1 need to lose the next one to put them at 3-2. 100 Thieves would need to win that one to be 2-3. DFM beats T1 to go 3-3, and 100 Thieves beats EDG for 3-3. So that's where we're at here. That's what needs to happen for us to go to tiebreakers, for 100 Thieves to have a chance to beat T1 in a tiebreaker, to make it out of groups. That looks like the current play of things. So frankly, it's not. It's we've got the next two games look promising. It's going to come down to whether or not Detonation Focus Me can pull an upset over T1, and then it's going to be on 100 Thieves themselves. So we have a path. We have a path, but it's very scary. It's very, very scary.